No, this is me normally. You guys think I'm on caffeine right now? I'm like low on caffeine. I wish I were more caffeinated. Look, this is just life. I'm just a ridiculous human being. I'm a crazy person masquerading as a professional. Let's put it that way. Okay? So, you ready? Does anyone have a timer? You got me, K-Train? Thank you. Set 5 minutes. I'm going to do everything inside the post request.
5, 4, 3,
All right.
2, go.
All right, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to stop the server. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come down here into the post request, and I'm going to gain access to everything that that the user has inputted. So I'm going to say var user input equals request.body.friends, because I know that it was stored under the friends key, and that'll give me everything they wrote in a string separated by a comma. To then get each of the items individually in an array, I'm going to say var friends array equals user input dot split every time there's a comma. So that I split them into an array using the comma as a delimiter. All that does is it creates an array that should look like this. Array now looks like me, you, them, etc. Stuff like that. So now that I have an array, let's get a random item out of the array each time. So I'm going to say while friends array.length, which means while there's something inside the array, run this little loop. Let's put let's also make an array outside this called var groups equals an array. And then say var current pair equals another array. And then I'm going to say, since I want it to be random, right? So let's pick a random number each time. Let's say var rand equals math.random times friends array.length. And that should give me a random number between 0 and the length of the array. Let's round it down with math.floor. And then I have a random number that can give me a random item in the array. Oops. Then I'm going to say while that's true, how do I do this? Oh, I know. I could say current pair dot push a random student or a random person in the group. So say var student or person or whatever you want to say equals friends array, and then pick the random person from that friends array and push them into the current pair. Then I want to delete them from the array. So I'd say friends array.splice, whatever the current index is, what is the rand, and I'll only splice one person. Then I'll do that again. I'll say var other student equals friends array rand. Actually, you know what? No, I'm going to do this. And I'm just in there, I'm just going to say if current pair dot length is equal to 2 or is greater than 1, that's all I really need. It's greater than 1, push that groups dot push the current pair. So put an array inside another array. And then, once I have that, that'll loop through again and again and again. It'll keep pushing it into a group. But what if I only have one person in there? Then I'm kind of screwed. Well, you know what? I'll figure that out later. And then I should have a groups, all the groups put together. And, okay, and now I have all the groups here. So I can just say response dot render, and I'll call it a results.ejs page. And I'll pass in an object, which is how I pass information to each AJS page. And I'll say groups are the groups. And stop. How much time did I go? 4 minutes and 20. So I actually have no idea if this works or not, but all I need to do is inside my views folder create a new file called results.ejs. And then in there, I can gain access to the variables I pass in when I render them like this by going into the results.ejs page and throwing in these EJS tags, which are the same as ERB tags if you've ever used Ruby before. Just looks like this. I'll loop over all the groups, and I'll say, use these little % signs like this. What these do is these allow you to write your JavaScript inside your HTML. So we can say like groups dot for each function group, and then you run it there and end it there. And then I will display an H3, right? And I'll have another tag inside there. And I'll explain these tags in a second. But basically what they do is they allow you to, this just runs JavaScript, and if you want the JavaScript to actually appear on the screen, you put equals. So I'd say group 0 is paired with, and I do this again, group 1. And that should be an app. Ta-da! You ready? Let's see if it works. So I'm going to run my server. Hopefully I get no errors. Okay, no errors. Let's preview the page. Let's pop it open. Let's list some names in there. Me, you, them, us, Shakira, someone else. Submit. And Melanie. Just make sure it's even. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Other Melanie. You're right. Submit. Oh! Nope, it didn't work. I know what I did wrong. You ready? I forgot to reinitialize after the current pair, so I have to set the current pair back to an empty array after I push them in. So now if I do this again, it should work. So I'm going to stop. I'm going to run the server. I'm going to go back and reload this page again. Preview running application. Pop a new screen. Me, you, them, us, Melanie, 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 hey, and Shakira. Submit. Hey, look at that. Melanie's paired with them, me is paired with hey, us is paired with you, Shakira is paired with Melanie. There's my app. Now I have a get request and a post request. So I can take in user input, do some with that input, and give them back something else. This is where it might be useful to go get information from an API, pull in user input, and then display that information from an API. Maybe have them log in, store their information, maybe store all their favorite recipes, stuff like that, where you can make your apps dynamic. And now I haven't styled this at all. It looks so ugly. Tell me this isn't the ugliest app you've ever made in your entire life. Or maybe the second ugliest, at least. I'm sure you can make it uglier if you really wanted to. Yeah, question. I sure can, because I think the results page is the part you haven't seen before. This part right here, with all of these little funky tags, you want me to break these down for you? Oh man, this is the weirdest part. So you literally write JavaScript as if you're writing normal JavaScript, and then occasionally you throw some HTML in there. Now all the JavaScript goes inside these tags instead. It's a normal tag and then a percentage sign, and you end it with a percentage sign and then the closing tag. Right here, down here. Isn't that, yeah, this is, I know. It actually bothers me a lot too. I really don't like it, but I just do it like this so I remember that everything that runs inside the for each loop goes right here. See what I'm saying? This is really weird. And now the thing you have to remember is that if you don't put the equal sign after the percentage sign, it just runs the JavaScript. But if you do put the equal sign, then it actually displays the result of running the JavaScript.
Oh, so the equal sign just says, like, this is displayed?
Exactly. That's exactly right.
But I thought H3 guarantees that it's
So
displayed.
H3 will display, but if I didn't put this equal sign here, let's take a look at what if I didn't put this equal sign. It would just say is paired with every time. Because it won't actually display what's in here, it'll just run it.
So the equal ensures that, like, the JavaScript inside is converted, it runs a function.
Exactly. Now you might be asking, where am I getting this variable groups from? Where does the variable groups come from? It comes from in my server, when I render the results.ejs page, I give it an object where one of the keys is groups, and I attach the groups array to that. Now, if you want to see what it actually looks like before I run any of this, let me show you something else. Really quickly, let me just show you what this looks like. Equals JSON.stringify groups undefined 2. And then I will end this. And if I run this again, I refresh this, and I enter in some stuff. Me, you, them, her, him, hey, hi, submit. This is what it actually looks like, and then I'm looping over each of the pairs and displaying them like this. That's all I'm doing. And that is a fully functional app that does very little, but this is what you build upon. This is the base to build any high-scale app. And by the way, like I said, Netflix runs on Node. So you can build really simple things like a little toy app, or you can build a full-scale enterprise-level app if you really, really, really know what you're doing. Ta-da! Yeah, I will answer all your questions and paste all this code to Slack, but this is just scratching the surface of what you can do.